sometime.
Lauren, your background looks a little different.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in my office today and not in the drone room.
In the studio.
Most of the time, like, we just see this.
There you go. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There,
Okay, here, I'm muted up here. I think we're ready to go here, fellas.
There could be something in the office you don't want to see.
Uh-oh. What's your name?
Here we go, fellas. Get ready.
What's your name?
Get ready. 3, 2, 1, and welcome into DroneNation for December 9th, 2024. The DJI Mavic 4 is finally leaked, and we got all the information for you. Well, some of the information. So thanks, folks, everybody for joining us. I know it's a busy time of year, got the holiday season. I want to get a couple of things of business out of the way right away. Joining us tonight, you can already see, is Canadian drone expert Lauren Donauer from Calgary, Canada, sitting in with us. And also, he's featured in our #1 article, the DroneNation Birthdays of the Week. Lauren Donauer has just recently had, I think, his 39th birthday. We got John Olson from Long Island. He just recently had his birthday. We have Lawerence Clark from Herman and Lawrence Show, who has a birthday also. And Lawrence is somewhere in New York City. I'm not sure which borough he's from, but happy birthday to all you young gentlemen out there.
Ron, can I clarify something you just said?
Yes.
You called Lauren a drone expert. Lauren is a drone celebrity.
No. Stop. You guys got to stop doing this. I'm not an expert. I'm not a celebrity.
We're going to have to update his LinkedIn resume.
Oh, jeez.
People know I just like to joke around with these titles or whatever. So, yeah, don't call Lauren and ask him a million drone questions. So
yeah, because I don't know nothing. So
yeah, his other name is Schultz.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're going to go right to DeMarco more, though, because we got a big game going on right now in the heart of Dallas. We have the fearless Monday Night Football forecast. We have the Cincinnati Bengals at a record of 4-8 versus the Dallas Cowboys with a record of 5-7. Now, I know these records aren't very impressive, but these guys are playing hard tonight. The Bengals are a favorite, and they're giving up 4.5 points. How do we see this game, DeMarco?
All right. So when I get all these hard games, why can't it be like the Chiefs versus the Bengals? I mean,
I thought you were going to say the Bears.
Well, the Bears, that's even easier for me, though. But let's see, Dallas and Cincinnati. Let's go with Cincinnati tonight.
On the road.
Dallas, I think, has won 3.
Tim Hortons? I can't see it. Oh, yeah, Johnny. That's a Johnny Cup.
Oh, wow.
I think Dallas has won 3 straight, though, but I think it ends tonight.
It's right now 7-7, so, of course, advantage here. Okay. We're going with the Bengals. We'll report back with you later on tonight with some of the
I lost last week, so, yeah.
So
go ahead.
There is some Florida news. I know FSU grad 03 Lauren's favorite, Tim Hortons, is building a restaurant in Florida. It was announced the other day. So you'll be able to get your Timmy's coffee in Florida.
And I heard they may be considering another location right near DuBois Park.
I'd be all in. For
what it's worth, Tim Hortons is really falling out of favor in Canada.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's become profits over quality.
Ever since they bought Burger King, right?
Well, actually, Burger King bought them.
I thought it was the other way around, but anyway.
Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're right that sometimes the bigger, more successful a company is, the more the quality goes down. Let's hope that never happens to DJI.
I've been.
Okay. Let's go to the folks. It's a lot of folks in here. I know they want us to go right to the big story of the night. And I'm going to get a little graphic going up here pretty soon here. The DJI Mavic 4 was leaked and rumored through all the big timers like our friend Igor, our friend Jasper Ellens, all of them. Cedar Lab was even back in the game here with some of the leagues. So I'm going to go to the big board here and try to get one of our little share screen things going here. Let's see here.
I have not seen this yet, so I'll be excited to see.
Let's see. Here we go. Right here. This is according to actually Drone DJ here. They probably got it from Igor or Jasper here, but here supposedly is the FCC approval for the Mavic 4. And they're calling it the Mavic 4 Pro, even not just a Mavic, but the Pro. And of course, we just did all this last week with the Flip. We will have a Flip story later in the show. But did you guys see this article yet?
No,
I have not.
Okay.
No.
So and Lauren will speak when he can say something here. So
Lauren, just show it to us. It's right there.
So, and even down there, the Cedar Lab saying in dual display functionality showing live video alongside mapping data for enhanced control, RTK support in a non industrial drone.
I got a question about that I think Lauren can answer me. It's not drones. Well, it's not drone specific.
Right.
So Lauren, if it has RTK support, it then means that you would have to have a ground station to use that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, for it to be actually not necessarily. There is some ground control point networks that you can hook into. It's not always easy and it's not always possible, right? For the most part, you will use your own ground control point.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Thank you. The City Premium Edition will have an enormous 2 terabytes of onboard storage, catering to creators handling high-resolution footage.
That's the one Johnny will get.
Right. Johnny doesn't like those SD cards.
Yeah.
The main camera improvements, including 14 stops of dynamic range for superior detail. I'm not positive, but did the Air 3S claim to have 14 stops of dynamic range?
I think it's 12, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, Ron.
Okay, something. Maybe again, I could be all wrong. Triple eye visual positioning for improved stability and safety in challenging conditions.
That's got to be LiDAR. It's got to be.
Okay, triple eye.
I'm just guessing, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Redesigned gimbal allows greater tilt flexibility from -9 to +80. So we all like those flexible gimbals.
So nearly straight up. That's huge.
Yeah. So okay, let me get rid of that one there. And did anything else pop up here? Let me add another one here. These leakers are real busy on this one, so just bear with me. Bear with me.
It'll never be as good as the Ron Mini 4K.
Nope. Okay, here we go. Here's the good one, guys. Somebody made this little graphic up here, and can you guys see it here? I think so. Okay, this is, of course, this is a Mavic 4 Pro there with all the stickers on, and it's saying that it'll have a 4/3 CMOS 28 millimeter, 100 megapixel f2 to f1 aperture on this thing. So that sounds like a step up from the current Mavic 3.
Oh yeah.
100 megapixels. Even the Air 3S only has 50 megapixels.
And the thing being is like, I don't know about a lot of people, but if you see my photos today, you can see exactly why I use a high megapixel camera.
Okay.
Your quality in the detail is just makes a world of difference. If you're watching it on a computer screen or something like that, are you going to get the most out of it? Absolutely not. But if you're doing commercial stuff where it's displayed, like a lot of my photos and stuff get blown up poster size. So detail is important,
Understood. And also, I believe the aperture on the Mavic 3 starts at a 2.8, where this is starting at just a 2. So
You're going to need sunglasses for your drone, Ron.
Oh,
But that's further down. That's further down the list.
yeah.
I was just going to say it comes with sunglasses.
Yeah. It comes with like high-end cameras. And you also see along the top there, it predicts an April 2025 release. So we got a couple months to save up our pennies and rate our piggybacks.
Our shekels.
Shekels, yeah. Okay, so how about some video specs here? Marcus, how do you like 6K, 60 frames per second in HDR?
That's great. Now, where that is going to be useful is if you want to crop in on something.
Punch in.
I believe, right? And even it'll probably have some level of digital zoom. So, as you can imagine, you'd still be able to crop into a certain degree and still have 4K resolution.
I don't know all my numbers, but I know like when even on the Air 2S with the 5.2 or 4 or whatever it was, like you could punch in more than twice and still be full resolution. So this probably could let you punch in, at least double that.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, of course, a lot of these cameras now have that new 70 millimeter tele, so this isn't as crucial as it used to be, but I guess if you want all the HDR and stuff. Okay, well, let me go. How about it's got 4K 120 frames per second. So that is on the Air 3S. We could do 4K 120 frames on our Air 3S. And of course, it mentions the 4 stops of dynamic range. Here
14, yeah.
Now, here's one that, something we all like. Apparently has a 95.3 watt battery to deliver a 52-minute flight time. So it bumps us up, another good 5 minutes or so over our, say, the Mavic Air 3 series?
That's a lot of flight time.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Well, Lauren, you probably maybe the same like me. Sometimes it's good for me because I may have more than, say, one job in a short amount of time. I don't even have to change batteries.
Oh, yeah.
So, dual native ISO 400 to 1600 in D-Log. Now, we've had dual native iOS in a couple of the recent releases from DJI, so this is nothing new.
No, but it's well, as you know, it's more of a video item. So
yes. It has a Hasselblad 10-point starburst. So Laura, maybe you can explain to the folks what that means.
Not really.
Yeah, I know what it means, but I can't explain it.
I know what it means, but the thing is there's about 10,000 different interpretations on
exactly
what the starburst is. So that's something I just soon leave alone. I've got my interpretation, which could be different than somebody else's, right?
Right. So it probably doesn't mean much to just the common drone flyer.
Correct.
So, okay, it's got 240 watt charger. That's a lot of volts, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
That's 240 watts. That must be a powerful. I mean, evidently that's a big battery, and so it needs a quick charge. So
you mean a big hunking battery?
Yeah, and I'd be interested to see how much heat that puts out too.
You could maybe fry your lunch on it while you're flying, or
it's possible.
Okay, here's something Lauren hinted to a minute ago. Stepless electronic ND for the 64. So that means that through just electronics alone, you can replicate the effects of a 4 ND filter all the way up to a 64 writing camera.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Built-in variable ND.
Exactly.
So how do they do? What's the mechanical way that they do that? Is that just done with shutter speed or aperture or what?
No. Have you ever seen a variable ND filter on the front of a camera?
I have not.
It just think of it like a circular polarizer filter, right? You turn it.
Okay.
And it adjusts your ND.
So they can mechanically probably turn a lens cover that's
yes.
is fitted
but
on.
it's internal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty cool.
Lauren, a lot of high end, say ground based cameras have this feature built in.
Yeah, correct.
Well, not a lot, some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's becoming more common.
Yeah, more common. If you're paying whatever $3,000 above for a camera body, it's a good chance you may have that feature. So.
Yeah. So who the heck was it? Asked how much is that lens? On a post, he says, "How much is this lens? Anybody know?" And then I said, $19,000 US. He said, "I'm not buying it."
I'll take 2.
Yeah. I'll wait for the sale. Okay, the weight of this thing supposed to be 1,045 grams, so considerably heavier than our Mavic 3s, which I believe still weighed in under 1,000.
Yeah, it's a big old drone. In other words.
Yep.
Yeah. And apparently, the flight distance is from 04 to 40 kilometers. I don't know what that means.
The who? What?
At the bottom, right under the 1045 is
it's got
40 kilometers.
OcuSync 4 Plus with a range of 40 kilometers.
Yeah, OcuSync 4. 04, Ron.
So it's not getting it's not getting 05. 04 Plus. It is getting upgraded. 04 Plus.
04 Plus, which is basically normally used for the commercial drones.
Okay. Now, Marcus, what's the range on our Air 3S as far as kilometers?
Ron, you got me. I'd have to look it up. I could go look it up if you like. But let me say this. It's farther than any of us here ever fly.
Will ever fly.
Yeah, but
so I just looked this one up. It's 24 miles.
Yeah.
But this one will probably go further than our Air3Ss with the 4 Plus.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty nuts.
Okay, the final thing is basic kit costs around 2,200
euros
or whatever.
Yeah.
So what do you think that translates into good old the US dollar?
2,100, something like that.
So this is a much better price than we had guessed at.
That's about 10,000 Canadian.
But don't forget that's the base kit.
Yeah, the base kit with
remember when the Mavic 3 first came out, there was only a base kit. You had to add all the extras on yourself.
Hey, so I would be shocked if they released this drone with a basic controller. In other words, not without like a DJI RC at least. I would be shocked if it has like an RC N3 or something like that, or N4, whatever they come up with.
Would you be shocked that it was whatever RC Pro 2 or 3 or something?
Well, I hope that there's an option for something like that, Ron. Let's hope. Yeah, with a really bright display, that'd be good.
So let's see. I think if I have anything else here. So, I mean, folks, what you just saw there is all speculation and rumor. None of that's confirmed by anybody, really. So take that with a grain of salt. Let's see here. Here we got a little video of it flying here. I need to start over again. Can you guys see that? Sorry, I couldn't make it bigger. I tried and just stopped the video.
Yeah. No, that looks fine. Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
These people never have a nice case for these things. Just stick it in like a not even good looking camera bag.
But you can kind of tell something about the size of that just by
huge
looking at it. That's a pretty good sized drone.
It's no mini drone, Marcus.
It's no mini drone. It's no Ron Mini 4K.
It is not.
Yeah, it's not stuffing that in your coat pocket.
And that was from our buddy Acetalev, who we don't have as many stories we used to from our old buddy, but
Hey, Ron, I'm competing with you a little bit. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. No, you're not. It's not going to. Well, maybe.
Well, it says Marcus.
Yeah, a friend of ours named. Well, okay.
Go ahead.
I named his drone. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No big deal.
Look at that
Trying to be funny. That's all.
Here's just a stack picture of the Mavic 4 Pro, and you can tell this is real because all these testers have all these stickers all over them.
Yep.
1 million stickers. Too bad you couldn't order the drone with all the stickers.
It doesn't even have like a top anymore. So like the lens is not under it. You know, like the whole front is the camera now.
Can you imagine what the gimbal guard is going to look like that on DeMarco?
You mean the Bane mask? Yes.
Yeah, the Bane. Hey, maybe one of those stickers says maybe we'll call this one the Marcus Mavic 4 Pro.
Anything's possible. I just was showing you a drone that was named after me. I thought that was kind of fun.
Alrighty, let's see here.
You listen, Ron. We need to correct that.
Yeah.
If that drone, if a Mavic 4 was named after anybody, it should be Lauren, our resident Canadian expert / celebrity.
No, you guys got to stop this.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Maybe we should send out a lot of DJI. So that's kind of all I got for the Mavic 4 leaks and rumors. And they all just popped up a couple of days ago. I'll go around the horn here. I'll start with DeMarco. Any thoughts on all these leaks and rumors that just popped out a few days ago?
Yeah, you know what? Like I always laugh at the leaks and rumors. You know, it's probably the same guy working for DJI that sends them all the stuff. Hey, put this out. I mean, it's good to hear. I mean, like we got months to go, so more will be coming. So yeah, it seems exciting.
Lauren, any opinions on all this stuff all these leaks and rumors we just put up?
Well, I think part of it is that they're trying to get ahead of the curve here to like worrying about the ban, right?
Right.
And it's funny because everybody was jumping up and down and woohoo, we beat it because it wasn't in the Authorization Act. But once you read the wording closer, they discovered that basically have a 1 year reprieve, you know.
Right. That's a big story we got for that, but I'm keeping it sort of near the end because once you get on those subjects, you never get off of them, Lauren.
Yeah, true.
They're the endless conversation.
Yeah.
So, Marcus, any thoughts from you on all these leaks and rumors that we just saw about the Mavic 4? And we've been talking about the Mavic 4 for much of this year, but this is the first time we've seen any substantial information.
Well, I'll say this: if that base kit is truly what they say the price is, yeah, I'll buy one. Yep. If it was, if the base kit was $3,500, I'm not sure, maybe, but I, never say never, of course, but that would give me a little more pause. But if it's $2,100 US, heck yeah, I'm all in.
Me too. I could scratch up enough stuff around here to sell and get that money.
Yeah, I will give a caution to those that are considering it. Is the fact that that's a 100 megapixel camera, and keep that in mind because if you're buying it just for the sake of having it, your photos and your video is going to be very sizable. So you better have a backup plan to handle that.
And you better not have a cheap Walmart laptop either to process it, huh?
No.
You know, one of those $299 specials?
Chromebook.
Yeah. Put your Chromebook away.
Share that screen for a second.
Oh, yes.
Hold
on.
Lauren's got something to show us.
Yep. We got
it. That's my computer screen.
Nice.
I don't have a normal Windows type computer screen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool.
Something a little different.
Cool. Yeah. So, anyhow, I guess, I guess we're not going to see this thing before, of course, the holidays, if they're saying April 225, and like Lauren brought up, I think they were, kind of smart getting it approved before the quote unquote drone bans, but this one I don't know about. About what the in the U.S. what it's going to look like in April.
Or the tariffs too. I mean, so it's
25% tariffs could raise that price up. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, a lot of unknowns at this point. So I'm going to go to the next story here because Lauren has a little graphic.
So if I drove up to Canada to visit Lauren and I bought a Mavic 4 while I was up there from Drone Dynamics, hey, that, then I wouldn't hit that 25% tariff, right?
You have to declare it at the border though when you came.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the rules. I'm serious. I have no clue. Yeah.
Well, it all depends. You're on how long your stay is. You're allowed a certain amount duty free.
Oh, you're going to be tired of me then, Lauren. I'll be.
And then, so basically, what you do, Marcus, is you declare that as a present from me.
There you go.
It's not a purchase then.
Oh, it's a present from yes.
You're so generous, Lauren.
Yeah. But you got to come and get it.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta come get it, all right.
Well, Marcus already told us that part of Idaho connects with Canada.
Oh yeah, just goes. Well, yeah. How do you think Lauren got down here when he came to visit, Ron?
Yeah. Well, that you don't have to go through other states. It's you can go direct.
You can't. Yeah.
Now, can you go directly into the province where Lawrence?
Yeah, absolutely, straight into Alberta.
Okay,
yeah.
Alberta, great, cool,
yeah.
Cool.
That sounds like a record album, straight out of Alberta.
Yeah. We should suggest that to somebody. So, okay. The next story here, Lauren provided this accurate graphic for us here. I don't know how much you people in the other parts of the country are getting this news story, but all over the East Coast and all the news stations on the East Coast that covered this, when they're not covering that, the guy shot the guy from United Healthcare. Drones in the sky spotted over New Jersey, but it wasn't me, folks. The drones have been reported all over the state of New Jersey, flying at night. Some are reported as large as SUVs, and many are reported to be silent. They reportedly even have been seen around military and airports, as well as homes and highways. And they started out seeing them in North Jersey, but now they've even gone all the way down to see them as far south as I think around Cape May now, and even on the east side of west side of New Jersey near PA. So this is almost all they talk about in the local news stations. You turn the local news on at 11 o'clock, and the first 5-10 minutes is all about these people seeing drones. I have a little video here if you want to see the drones here. Boy.
It's funny, they have running lights just like airplanes. It's wild. What a coincidence.
Yeah. And I really like the part that some are as big as SUVs.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
Punch it, Chewy.
Yeah.
Can't get my video playing. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, Ron. But it is interesting. You never see a clear picture, and right now I could get excited if somebody showed me a clear picture of, something that looked like an MQ-9 Reaper or something like that. But no, all we see are these blurry little lights in the sky, and often they have running lamps that are identical to manned aircraft. So I guess color me skeptical.
It reminds me of the Loch Ness Monster picture.
That's the same thing. It's always a big blurry thing, right? Yeah, every time.
And it used to be any unknown light in the sky used to be a UFO.
Yeah, now it's a drone. Yeah,
a drone or whatever.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Actually, there's some airlines that have given their pilots directives that if you see something, they're not UFOs anymore. You report it as a drone sighting.
Yeah. Well, we've seen that, right? We've seen that often. Yeah.
But listen, why change that and just report it as a UFO? Because UFO doesn't mean it's from space. It means it's unidentified.
Correct.
I don't know what that is. And those pilots are flying at how many? 300, 400 miles an hour?
But here's the other point. If it's something nefarious, They wouldn't have their running lights on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, not only that, but here's one thing that I thought was real interesting. Is somebody said, if they're from outer space, they wouldn't have lights on.
No.
What good are lights out in space? You know?
Yeah. It's just phony as all get out. But yeah.
And here's the odd thing. These drones aren't reportedly seen by pilots, air traffic controllers, or Air Force bases. The military is not reporting or see them.
People in their backyard.
Yeah, the only people reporting seeing them are people that get in their backyards or something, or driving down the road. So no like kind of state or local officials are reporting them. It's just the Joe average guy riding around and seeing them.
Well, also blame the news media because they know that those kind of stories are sensational and they attract eyeballs. So it is really frustrating to see that kind of stuff get promoted. It is.
The military, state police, FBI, all this, none of them have confirmed this story or have really any comment about the story whatsoever. And the military, for instance, if any kind of drone enter military space, don't they have equipment that would detect them? They would know exactly.
Yeah, it's called radar. We've had it since World War II.
And airports also, if they were entering airport space, they have equipment. They would know what they were.
One would think. I've been telling people that I've been seeing a lot of drones over Idaho too. However, most of them are ones that I've got the controller to and I'm flying them. Sometimes it's somebody else's, but I see a lot of drones over Idaho all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's another good point. These people report and seeing all those drones, but nobody's reporting any nefarious purposes. They see them flying around the sky. Okay. But what are they doing or whatever? It's not like they're coming down spying anybody's window or crashing in the middle of the road. These drones, outside of flying around, it's no complaints.
They're called 737s.
Yeah, and even spying. How much spying can you do at nighttime? What's it going to see you in the pitch dark?
Yeah.
So again, it's not even like they're doing anything except flying around. And people say they're silent. Well, if they're silent, they're not. The noise isn't even bothering you.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy story, but the story won't die. Again, you turn local news on here, and it's the lead story every night. And every night, people see more and more of these drones.
Well, the news does it because it attracts eyeballs, and that's just a sad fact. It's ridiculous.
But I think this is kind of, I'm not saying this is a conspiracy, but it kind of goes along the same thing. They're trying to give drones a bad reputation.
Well, I got news for you there. Drones already, and I think it started, people originally it was the fear of that eye in the sky, and then the Ukraine war didn't help. So I think that's part of, we're going to get into it later, but sometimes I wonder if that isn't part of the anti-drone legislation in Congress that, hey, they just, general fear of drones.
Have you guys ever heard of K-doors?
No.
Say again?
You ever heard of K-doors?
No.
Okay. There we go. So K-doors, what it is, a civil aviation daily occurrence report. And so here is for all across Canada for the last 6 months. And these are all daily occurrence reports dealing with drones.
Well, most of them are Quebec, those French, geez.
Well, it's sorted by, actually I can go back and do a search again, but I won't go back as far. Let's just do for
well, yeah.
There and there. So there's 5 records for the last month, and but if I want to look at what the information is, because I go through all of these ones and I report back to my rep at Transport Canada, and because like some of these, you can read them and you can tell right away it's not a drone, or at least it's not a
Consumer drone.
consumer drone, right? Because when they say it, like the guy was at 15,000 feet and he was there for half hour, that wasn't a consumer drone if that's what you saw.
Yeah. No way. No matter what that was, it wasn't a
Yeah.
consumer drone. Yeah.
Wow.
Chinese spy balloon.
Yep.
Well, like in New Jersey, when they say they're as big as SUVs, how do they know that they're not a man craft?
Well, that's the point. And how do they know how big they are?
Well, that is exactly my point. Is the thing? What is your point of reference to judge that size?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But before we get on air, I was even telling Lauren, somebody in New Jersey was saying they saw a drone flying above the jet airplanes, the manned aircraft, and somebody's comment to him was, "Well, how good an eyesight do you have?"
Yeah, you must have really good eyesight. Yeah. Nuts.
So anyhow, folks, I don't.
I think we beat it to death.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about this story. I don't want to call these people, liars or whatever. But
I do.
It's something about this story.
I want to call them liars.
Yeah, something about this story just doesn't pass the smell test.
See, this one kills me. It's like the guy was operating his drone at 300 feet. Guess what? That's a legal height.
That's legal. Yeah. What's the matter with that? Yeah.
Anyways, carry on, Ron.
No, these are good points. That the same thing happens all over the place. That people report drones that aren't necessarily doing anything they should be doing.
Yeah,
that would be like a police report reporting somebody driving the highway under 50, at 55 miles per hour, legal.
And not only that, but here, like this one here, kind of kills me. Is like if you read this, saw a drone at 1,700 feet. When he was on his 5 mile final, right? 5 mile final. Your concentration is on landing, right? To notice that drone, it had to have been really freaking close to you to be, So I take that one with a grain of salt. See here. Report drone operating at 200 feet above ground level.
Right. Maybe the guy had got permission for 200 feet.
Well, considering the report was Flight Information Center, yeah, that he had a SFOC for that. In other words, a
waiver.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're reporting people doing things that are legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, but if this story gets any up, if they ever figure out what's going on, so even local law enforcement is getting involved. Like in New Jersey, some local towns are setting up there. Guess what? And when they send drones up to hunt these drones, guess what they're using, Lauren? They're using like DJI, like M300. They're using DJI Enterprise drones to hunt these illegal drones down.
Mm-hmm. Not surprising.
Because luckily, New Jersey, they have luckily we have the type of governor that doesn't jump on the drone ban.
Yeah.
So we're still using DJI Enterprise drones to save lives around here. So
well, all I know is I don't want to pay the bill to replace all them drones.
Right. Well, of course, we will through our taxes, right?
Yep.
So, okay. We're going to skip we're still going to skip the Chinese thing for a second here. What's good? Now, Marcus brought this story up. Our dear friend over in Spain, Sean the Drone, he reports firmware issues with the latest update to the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Now, Sean does admit that he got this from, I believe, We Are the Roberts.
Or Nobby Green or something. I don't know.
See, Nobby has the same story too, but I think Sean said he saw it on
bunch of people. So you're just making a good point here. It cracks me up how people comb through these firmware releases and they find these defects. It just
and it's usually not the guy that made the video. He usually gets a message from somebody who doesn't make videos that there's a problem. But this one, okay, this problem issue causes the gimbal to raise up as it's coming back down again on a rocket quick shot. So it seems to do the rocket, they're going up well, but when it comes back down, the gimbal raises up, points up to the sky as it comes to the ground. Now, Sean, he tested it and it hit him, but somebody else, it was Nobby. Nobby, when he tested at his house, it didn't do it. But when he went out to the field, it did do it. And he went back and forth. And sometimes it did it and sometimes it didn't. So
I can report my experience today if you want, Ron.
Go, Marcus, give us your field test.
Yeah. So I was flying out at the canyon today in the cold and the fog, but and by the way, the Mini 4 Pro handled it just great. But so one of my goals on that flight was to try that. So at the very end of the flight, I brought it back to where I was at, and I did a rocket, and it just as you described, Ron, it did the rocket perfectly, executed it perfectly. Then on the way down, it looked like it was doing just fine. Then all of a sudden, boop, that gimbal shot straight up, and it was looking at the sky, and I had to manually point the camera back down. So then I tried just to see if it would do it in any of the other quick shot modes, right? Why would it just be on the rocket mode? So I tried an orbit, and you know how the orbit does in quick shot. It just does one orbit and then it stops in its original point, and it did that just fine. So I said, okay, let's do a helix. I was literally standing on the very edge of the canyon. I was at a different spot than I took you, Lauren, and I was literally standing on the edge of the canyon. And so I thought, well, a helix will look pretty cool. So it executed the helix perfect. But then as it was returning to its starting point, like quick shots does, right? The drone always comes back to its starting point. All of a sudden, not only did the camera shoot straight up, but the drone kind of went in a half circle and pointed itself the opposite direction from where it started at. So it was just kind of odd. Didn't hurt anything, right? It wasn't like, it's not like the drone was ever in any danger or anything like that. But it clearly is some kind of bug in the quick shot system that occurred with this latest 0800 firmware update for the Mini 4 Pro.
And Marcus, I believe Sean is the one that tested it. It only does it with the DJI RC2 controller. When he tested it with just the regular RC controller without the screen, it did not do it.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I was using the RC2. So
yeah. So Sean figures it wasn't the fly-up update did it. It was the actual firmware for the controller that did it.
Yeah, because I'm glad you brought that up, Ron, because before I left yesterday evening, I updated everything, right? I wanted to make sure when I got out in the field it was all updated. The RC2 updated the Fly app, and then of course the drone updated its firmware to .0800, last four digits of that firmware update. So yeah, interesting stuff. It really is a little bit of nothing, really, because it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't, the drone is not.
You still get like in the Sean case, you still get your rocket.
It executes the quick shot perfectly. Like I said, the one that shocked me was the when it was doing the helix, and it was all of a sudden it just said, "Hey, okay, I'm going to go my way," and it did it.
So it kind of spices things up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, we got some breaking news here, fellas. Ray Kelly is reporting that 5 drones are flying over the Palm Beach holiday boat parade on Saturday night.
Holy cow! Were they as big as a car?
I bet you one of them was Ray's drone.
It could have been.
So thanks for that testing that out, Marcus, and giving us that update there. So yeah, just be wary if you're out there flying your Mini 4 Pro with the RC2 controller. Okay, here's this. I put this on near the end because I had already updated show, and I saw Jasper put this. tweet out here. This is about concerning DJI Flip, which we covered last week. Another rumored upcoming drone from DJI. Jasper said today that it would be under 249 grams and have an 04 transmission. Here's a quote. But okay, let's look at this Amazon leak. I'm going to get up in a minute for you. The DJI Flip will be 249 grams that have the DJI RC204. Bet it will be available soon. Cheers. So I'm going to call Jasper's little thing up here, his little tweet, or X, whatever you want to call it anymore. All right. So he's getting this from Amazon. Of course, they're calling it a Mini 3, but maybe they're disguising it because down they say the DJI Flip Flywire Combo RC2 GL dimensions, yada, 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 249 grams. So according to him, Amazon already has a placeholder for the Flip. So, DeMarco, we talked about the Flip last week. Do you think we really will be seeing this soon? Maybe, who knows, before Christmas?
Not before Christmas. I don't think so at all. I mean, what do you think? I don't think so at all. But like with the Mavic 4 maybe coming in April though, maybe February for the Flip.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we'll see the Flip before we see that Mavic 4.
Yeah.
Marcus,
The Flip. I can't.
Are you flipping for the Flip?
Well, I think like every DJI product so far, it's intriguing, right? I mean, we know little to nothing about it so far, so who knows? But it looks intriguing. One of the things that I'll say, and I think we talked about this a little bit last week, if it is truly as foldable as they say, and it looks like it folds up into a pretty small package, I can see that would be handy to throw it in your backpack or the pocket of your jacket, and you just want to do just like we do with the Neo, but except for maybe with a better camera and maybe with a little bit more powerful drone. So yeah, I think it would be good.
Kind of like our hovers. Our hover.
Well, similar to what the hover offers. I agree. Yeah.
Well, thanks for your thoughts on that. So, well, yeah, I mean, Jasper just put that out today. So according to these leaks, it's coming sooner than later. Like DeMarco says, probably not before the holidays, but we don't know that. We don't know. So, Lauren, any thoughts on the Flip, or
other than the fact that to me that appears to be directly marketed against the hover?
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna one quick thing here. Then we're gonna go to the Chinese drone bans because I'm even confused on the whole drone ban stories. But this is our good friend Richard. I haven't seen Richard in chat today, but he wanted us. He thought the idea of a drone wish list would be a good thing. Just general. What would you like to see happen? In drones over the next year? It could be in anything. It doesn't have to be what I just said there, but a drone wish list. But let's all think about what we want on a drone list, including people in the chat. You put what you want on your drone wish list. But let's chew on that for a few minutes and go to the story nobody wants to talk about. The DJI Chinese drone ban updates for the U.S. A couple of days ago, Vic Moss uploaded a video, which Ross from 51 Drones shared on his channel also, that basically was saying that the House and Senate were working together to get the military spending bill pushed through before the holiday break, and it would include the CCP Act, which would essentially ban DJI and Chinese drones from getting FCC approvals. But then on Sunday, Drone XL, that's Hay Kestelou, he released a story saying the CCP Act was not part of the NDAA bill or whatever. So that sounds like good news. I got some links that are going to pop up here in a second. But according to like what Drone DJ was saying today is that, yes, the CCP wasn't there, but there's another stipulation there that the Chinese drones would have to be investigated, taken apart, disassembled by a U.S. agency and be, basically proven not to have anything, not legal in them or whatever, or not approved by the government. But there was also a little rider in there that if no government agency chose to do that, we'll say the FFA, the FBI, and any three-letter thing,
The DoD.
chose not to do that, then it would be banned. In other words, they have to be proven. They have to be proven innocent instead of being proven guilty. Somebody has to tear them apart and prove that there's nothing wrong with them, or else they want them not being approved by the FCC anymore. I mean, that's the way I'm fond of. If anybody read anything different than me, or I could have got everything totally wrong here, because it's a very confusing timeline to follow. Marcus?
It's almost impossible for laymen like us to fully understand it, and we don't know exactly what they're doing. I read those same articles you did, Ron, and it sounded like good news, but then also I thought they indicated that the Department of Defense would, didn't it say every 2 years, dismantle one and take it apart?
Yeah, I mean, I probably did. I probably just didn't read as good as you did.
Well, I put up Bob's comment here because obviously Bob he's very connected with his local his local politicians, and so he may know something more about it than we do. So that's why I put that up there, Ron.
Thank you, Bob. Here's the article. Here's High's article from basically yesterday. It says the 8th, and it sounded pretty good when that came out. But again, then when the DJ article came out talking about this inspection process, that, like Mark said, could be every 2 years or whatever. But even more importantly, right now, a drone has to be torn apart by a government agency and proved to be okay. So if the government agency say, well, hey, we don't have time to do that, then they won't be allowed to be approved by the FCC and released in the U.S. So, I mean, that's the way I'm reading and understanding it now. I mean, things change by the minute. This is a fluid situation. So, Marcus?
One more comment. The other thing is next year's Defense Authorization Act could include it in there, right?
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is, really, our drones are always going to be under attack. We just need to get used to the fact that there's always going to be some kind of pending legislation or some kind of rule that could sink our consumer drones. And I guess what I'm going to say, fly them and enjoy them while you can. And hopefully nothing ever happens, right? I mean,
right.
They've been trying to ban. I was talking to Lauren Donauer earlier today. He said, they were trying this stuff back in 2015, 2016. So,
right. If I'd have stopped flying drones the first time they talked about this stuff, I mean, I'd have missed out years of flying.
You'd have missed out on a lot of fun drones, wouldn't you? Yeah. So
just, I don't know what really burns.
We'll get Lauren's opinion, outsiders or USA's person's opinion on this whole mess.
You want to know what burns my tail feathers about this whole thing for you guys? Okay, it is that they are also going after non-Chinese built drones now.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you noticed it, but what is it, Anzur?
Oh yeah.
Basically they're Chinese knockoffs, right?
Made in the Philippines,
Malaysia,
yeah, and by a Canadian or American person, right? And the thing being is they're going after that. Well, wait a minute here. I thought this was countering CCP drones, right?
Right.
The guy found a loophole that you guys don't like, so you're going after him. But it was done with the good intentions,
Right, and I read some of the comments on these stories. I read a Canadian make a comment, and they worry that these crazy laws could eventually make their way to Canada.
Oh yeah. The Transport Canada and FAA talk very, very regularly because our airspace is neck to neck. So,
well, and eventually they're going to be the 51st state anyway. So,
in some ways, I wish we would, but in other ways, man, I hope not.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, I've said this before. I wish that there was a relationship with Canada, the United States, and Mexico, kind of like the EU has, where you're separate governments, you're separate countries, but you're also connected, and you can freely travel and do business between the three.
Right. It has similar rules and regulations.
Yeah.
Well, careful what you wish for.
Careful what you wish for. Yeah. DeMarco, you have any? What are your thoughts on? Have you read these articles? What is your thoughts the same as ours, or?
I don't know. This whole thing has been a mess. It's still a mess. I would love to see some proof, so we can just put it to sleep then. I mean, but like you said a minute ago, I mean, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm gonna keep flying and keep buying when I can, do my thing, and then if something comes down, it comes down, and then I'll go on to another hobby.
I got a question for DeMarco. DeMarco, do you know? Well, I'll give you the question and I'll give you the answer. Do you know why we haven't seen any proof of the nefarious intent of these drones?
Do I know? No. Do I think? Yes. Do I think?
Yeah, because it doesn't exist. That's why. Yeah, that's my point. Is it's all just a bunch of somebody.
Just think about it. If there was proof, they would show it to us.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But
even if it was semi-classified, they could show you enough, right? That you'd go, oh, okay, that's not good.
Yeah. Well, Marcus, what I think is sort of driving this too is they're looking at what is going on in Ukraine with drones, and I'm sure that the people who know about drones are going to these lawmakers and saying, hey, like, we don't want that happening here. We don't want that either. But the thing about it is you don't have to be legal to do that. Like, someone who wants to do something like that,
they won't buy a DJI.
Regulations aren't going to stop them.
Yeah, they're going to build one in their garage and
build it.
Yeah. Yep.
And here's something else to think about too. Okay, when the government agency has to tear this drone apart to the inspect and see if it's okay. Now, if they find something in that drone they don't like, that'll be headline news. They find chip or something, some way of transporting. But if they find nothing in that drone, we probably won't hear a peep about it. They'll never say that the drone was clean.
Actually, that's the point I was going to bring up. If you want to share my screen there.
Coming right up.
Okay, so we got section 162 here, right? They will dismantle Chinese drone and identifying supply chain vulnerabilities. Well, whatever happened to intellectual property?
Right.
If they're going to start tearing apart these, right? What's to say that they don't steal the Chinese technology? Right?
You mean like China's been doing to us for the last 30 years?
Absolutely. We all know what happens.
Yeah.
Lauren, they used to call that reverse engineering back in the day.
Yeah. So, but to blatantly say that we're going to disassemble the drones and check on them, right? So
and Ron, it does direct the Department of Defense. They specifically say to do the work.
Okay, but with engineers from all the American drone companies standing there watching these tear aparts, huh?
Yeah,
front row seats.
So, but anyways, I don't know if you've seen this, but this was on Drone DJ and it was just released about an hour ago. But DJI has responded to the ruling on the NDAA. So
good, thank you. Good information.
Fly them while you got them, guys.
Marcus, you mentioned this story last week about the gentleman who's going to be in charge of the FCC, and there was also talk about he's already made some comments about he may even revoke current drones that have received FCC approval once he gets in there. We had kind of feared that all along, but we had been told that wouldn't happen. But now I think he made some hints about something like that.
That would be bad. I mean, what can you say? It would put a lot of people out of business.
And how far would he go back? Would it just be like, say, the Air 3S, the drones Malaysia? Would he go all the way back to the Phantom 1?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah,
but do you think he'd really do that?
Well, they said I think somebody said he didn't say that in so many words, but he made a comment that sounded like he was insinuating that he would do something like that.
Here's the other part that I don't know is, does he even have the authority to do something like that? You know, even though he's the head of the FCC, can he unilaterally say, okay, this is what we're going to do?
Right.
Well, he could probably try to do that, though, but someone would sue and they'd take it to court. And if they take it to court, the judge is going to want to see something. Yeah. All right, why are you doing this? Show it to me.
Of course, that could be years. That could be years in the going on. That his drone things will probably stick until he loses in court, though.
Wait, too. Dependent on where the judge is at, too, and who the judge is, too. So
exactly. Yep. Hey, speaking of lawsuits of Chinese companies, did you guys see? It sounds like the TikTok ban was upheld by some federal judges.
I saw that. Yeah.
From again, I don't know. I'm no lawyer, but from what I read, it sounds like again it went to a group of federal judges and they upheld the TikTok ban. So that doesn't bode well for DJI. So, but they still don't know an effective date. When does TikTok get turned off? I mean, I don't. Again, keep using until it doesn't work anymore. So, anyhow, I hate this to be the Debbie Downer portion of the show here.
Let's finish on a high note, okay?
Yeah, well, we're going to end on a high note here because we're getting ready to wrap up here a little early tonight. But I'm going to go around the room here and get everybody's. Go right to DeMarco first. What's on your drone wish list for the upcoming year? Hey, drone wish list could be anything. What do you wish for in the realm of drones?
Oh, this is a good one. Yes. I am hoping that my good buddy Marcus Crawford gets the Mavic 4, and then he will sell his Mavic 3 Pro to me for a wonderful price.
I would make you, and you know what? You're joking around, but you know me well enough that I would, DeMarco.
Well, I know you.
I would make you a smoking deal.
No, for me, I mean, the Mavic 3 does more than what I need from it. I still use my RC Pro with it. So, like with the Mavic 4 coming out, I'm not in the drone buying game unless Marcus called me, sent me a text, then maybe. But no, I want to see it coming out though, but I'm not buying it. Throw it to you, Lauren.
Yes.
I personally, I have no wishes. I am really happy with the drones that I have. Am I going to get the Mavic 4? Not likely. I get enough out of my Mavic 3 that the difference between those two, is it going to be worth the extra money? Not in my opinion. Yeah. Not for my use case. For other people, maybe. But that's up to the individual.
I totally understand, Lauren. Especially with cameras, sometimes the camera gets everything I need. I don't need the next model if I'm getting everything I need in the model I have now.
Absolutely. Yep. But I buy a new camera anyway.
Marcus, what's on your drone wish list for?
Yeah, so I can relate to exactly what Lauren just said. I love my current drones. However, there are two things that I would hope to see. One of them we are going to get, the other one we're not. Like a lot of us have talked about, optical zoom would be so cool. Yeah. However, we've already seen the gimbal on that Mavic 4 and it's got 3 cameras on there. So no, we're not getting optical zoom. We're getting 3 cameras. The other one we're very likely to get and the other one isn't as important to me, but I think it'd be cool, and that's to have a beacon to control our DJI drones when they're following us. So it's more than just that optical component, which DJI does so well. They do really well with that. But anytime you get obscured by terrain or a tree, anything, the tracking, I'm talking about tracking, it loses you. So if you had that beacon style optical component, or excuse me, GPS component, I think that would be a lot of fun. Again, Ron, as you and I have talked about a million times, it's really kind of a parlor trick. How often do we in our normal drone flying need tracking? Not very often, but I can tell you this, it's sure fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, and you know, like you said, parlor trick. But the few times I do use tracking when I'm doing like a test, wherever I'm done, I'm leaving the beach. Instead of flying a drone back to the car, I just let it track me back to the car. That way, I don't have to fly anymore. I'm done the mission. I just walk back to the car and then land right by the car. Because of course, if you're using a drone like even a Mini 4 Pro or an Air 3S, it has a good optical footage, so you don't have to even pay any attention. Just let it back to the car and land it.
Yeah.
You were talking about the optical zoom last week. Hey, Kestel and I were chatting, and he was saying about, I said there's a possibility of seeing an optical zoom, and he says, "Oh, good, we'll still have the 3 cameras." I said, "With the optical zoom, you won't need it."
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, from like Lauren, old time photographers like Lauren and I, at one point, you have your camera body, and maybe you have a couple 3 primes. You have like a 50 millimeter, and maybe a wide angle like a 20 millimeter, and then you maybe have a longer one like a 75 millimeter, or you get a nice zoom lens. You don't need those 3 prime lenses anymore.
Well,
like you get a good 28 to 85, and you can put those primes away, right, Lauren?
Yep. Actually, my everyday lens is a 28 to 105.
And how would you like to have a drone that had an optical 28 to 105 on it?
Oh, I absolutely love it.
There's Lauren's wish list. How about the Mavic 4, camera with a 28 to 105 optical zoom on it?
Mechanical, did you say?
Yeah. Well, we'll give you a mechanical shutter too.
Mechanical shutter. Yep. Absolutely.
With the electronic ND filters, of course.
To be honest,
he doesn't need them for pictures, folks.
Yeah. Well, I still use them.
Because especially if you want to get the you're doing a waterfall or something, you want to get that slow shutter effect.
Exactly. Like Romeo asked me if I had any pictures of a waterfall, with the long exposure, right? So I showed him 2 that I had posted, and one was with a long exposure ND 1000, and the other was just standard, and I did a survey to see which people preferred. And the funny thing is, it was actually 50-50. There was no real preference. So.
I need to do the same thing, Lauren. I did a little waterfall tour last month, and I took a real camera with me with a strong ND filter, and I got some waterfalls with the slow shutter effect. But also I got my iPhone 16 Pro and hit the automatic slow shutter effect button on it, and it's kind of hard to tell the difference which one's the real one and which one's the iPhone effect.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'll go with my drone wish list. Marcus kind of took my optical zoom one, so I got another one here. I would love to see a variable aperture, adjustable aperture on an Air Series drone from DJI. Like maybe an Air 3S Pro with a adjustable aperture. And I'll
muted you, DeMarco.
Yeah, and I'll take the same aperture range that the Mavic 4 Pro has. I'll take that f2 to f11. So my wish list probably won't come true either. Marcus, your wish list of the Beacon has a good chance of coming through, and DeMarco's wish list of getting a hand-me-down Mavic 3 Pro, that probably is a good chance of happening too.
Hand-me-down.
If it's at that price that they're saying, then for me it's a no-brainer. If it is $1,500 more than that. Yeah,
you understand if you the kit out with extra batteries or whatever, you'll be up around $3,000.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about what I did with the original Mavic, the original Mavic 3. I ended up just buying the base kit and ended up buying a couple of more batteries later on. They had them on sale or something like that. But yeah.
And remember, they didn't really have like a firmware bundle. You could get that thing that had extra batteries over it. That was like kind of separated.
That's true.
And of course, you got a case with that. Which the case, if you part that out, that was like a $300 or $400 case they were throwing in there.
That's right. Remember that big case? Yeah.
Nobody really wanted that case, and nobody really wanted to pay $300 or $400 for it either. So that was a tough buy.
Tanya has that case, and she loves it.
Some people do love it. Yeah. Most of the people who don't love it had never had it.
Yeah.
So. I have one other thought now. Already, old guy. Here we got Lauren's got a little something to show us here. Let me get rid of comment. Before let Bob go, Bob keeps saying Rick Scott is he's a big problem in this thing. He's really trying to push this through now. He's really working hard to ban DJI drones. So people down in Florida, write Rick Scott, let him know the truth about drones. Here we go. Here's a.
This is the ones I sent Romeo. So we got that, and then that one.
Oh, see, beautiful.
Yeah, one of them is more artistic than the other one. The other one, I prefer realism like that. Yeah. However, I understand why people like that other one too. I get it,
And then here, that was another time lapse that I did.
Beautiful. What shutter do you think you were at on those photos? Shutter.
Oh, it all depends. Like this one was about 2 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
I found that to be my best shutter speed when I was doing mine, about 2 seconds.
Yeah. So this one was kind of a drone only shot. Well, the next two drone only shots, and what it is this is a waterfall in the winter, and then that's it in the summer.
Right. Totally.
How's that for time lapse?
Lauren.
So Lauren, go back to that snow picture.
Yeah.
I can tell you, as a former snowmobiler, I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But mountain riding, this is your worst nightmare right here. Yeah. You think
Absolutely.
You got solid snow, and you end up at the bottom of a creek or something. So yeah.
You mean Idaho Sledhead would have went down here?
Well, the first time I saw that is, man, if you're on a sled, you better be careful.
And this is my favorite thing I like doing is ridge flying.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that rock, kind of like the Southwest.
Or Montana.
That is Montana.
Montana, okay.
That's the peak of the going to the Sun Highway. Down here, you can see the visitor information center there.
Wow.
And then this is another drone only shot. This is out in the middle of a farmer's field. He's taken some old airplane parts and made this out of it.
Made a little aerodrome.
Yeah.
Top Down Tuesday.
Yeah. And then this one is another summer and then winter in the same place.
Huh. Before and after.
And there's my town I grew up in, right back there.
What's it called?
Athabasca.
Okay. Nice shots.
And what falls are these? I can't remember.
Lauren, your waterfalls put the New Jersey waterfalls to shame.
I think we got a little bit bigger mountains.
So we've got an update on the score here at DeMarco. Bengals 17, Cowboys 17.
I see that, and the
third quarter. So
Cowboys are driving too. So
all these games come down basically to the last 2 minutes anymore. So yeah, I might as well ask you your prediction for these games at 2-minute warning.
No.
So
I'm getting called to dinner, gentlemen.
well, we are going to end the show right now. So
Okay.
I want to thank everybody joining us in the chat tonight. Again, I know it's a busy time of year, but thanks for hanging in, supporting us even around the holidays here. And I want to send a special thanks out to Lauren for joining us tonight. Always love having you on the show. One of our honored guests.
No, he's a celebrity.
Oh no, don't.
A celebrity droner. Yeah. So and of course, DeMarco and Marcus for helping me host this show every week. It's a joy. Not feeling kind of a little bit under the weather today, but it's always fun to be here. I do have a show coming up in the future here. I talked to Bob Dempsey today, just briefly, and Bob has a drone cruise coming up in the spring this year, right before the Great Florida Drone Meet. And Bob and hopefully Audrey will be joining us on the last show of the year, December 30th, I believe is the date. It's the last Monday of the month of December. They will be joining us at that show to talk all about the cruise because there's a special deal in the cruise that's going to expire sometime in January. So we want to
get. I know there's a few drone people that I know personally are going to be on that cruise. So
Bob says there's still a few seats left. So we're going to talk all about it, and maybe we could fill the rest of those seats.
With Lauren needs to come.
Well,
I'll
believe
tell you.
it's open to Canadians.
The thing being is with the way the exchange is going, and then any kind of if they put a tariff on something like that cruise too, right now the exchange is absolutely killer.
Are you a fan of cruises, Lauren?
Never been on one in my life.
I've never been on one either, Lauren.
Yeah.
DeMarco, are you a fan of cruises?
Yeah, they're all right. I've been on 2 of them. They're all right. I mean, I wouldn't take my kids, but
well, hey, this one is
adult only cruise.
It's adults only.
It just be for you and Shelly.
Is it like a really good adult only cruise?
It is
not that good.
How do you know, Ron?
Yeah,
I've read the brochure.
Are you looking for a swingers cruise or something?
No.
We gotta talk around when the show's over.
We don't want to get this show demonetized, Lauren.
There you go. Yeah.
So
good night, everybody.
Good night, folks. We'll see you back here next Monday night. Maybe we'll have a Mavic 4 or Flip on the show. Who knows? See you, folks.
Bye now.
Good night.
Good night.